we can get started. So, first of all, welcome and thank you for joining for a monthly updates call. Those of you who are joining for the very first time, I'm just going to set the background real quick. So, we generally have this call by end of the month so that we talk about the latest and greatest of Xenett. We typically talk about all the new things, the improvements, the fixes that we have brought during the month. So this is more of a recap kind of call where we just give the updates, and if at all you guys have any questions that we can address as well. This call is being recorded, so those of you who were not able to make it, we will be able to share the recording with them. During the call, if you guys come across any questions as such, feel free to put them into chat and we will take care of them. All right, so that's it. This is gonna be a very quick call this month because a lot of stuff that we worked on was more on a backend side where we worked on stability and performances. I mean, I'm also gonna touch base on some of the upcoming features as well. So we'll touch base on that. I'm gonna share my screen and then I'm gonna walk you through some of the new features that we have launched during the month of Feb. All right, so just gonna share my screen. All right, so number one that we have launched with the mode is the transfer the to-dos, right? So just in case, let's say if you have a person working on a client and for whatever reason that person is not available or leaving and you wanted to transfer all his or her task from one person to another. So what you can do, you can select them all. Let's say I wanted to select all the task here, and then there's a transfer button here. So when you click on that, you basically can do like, hey, I wanted to transfer all Hardik's task to Manish's, right? So that way, wherever Hardik is either set as a preparer or reviewer, he will then be replaced by this new user, right? So that's a new feature that we have added. All right, so that's like a transfer task. Okay, so that's that. Another thing that we have added is the voice note. Okay, so those of you who are either using internal commands or client portal, we have now enabled in like voice note feature. So what's going to happen is that when you click here on comments, let's say you wanted to reply, and then either you can type in or you can just like click here voice note, and it will then start recording your voice. Okay, so it's very straightforward. The same exit feature is also available if you are asking questions to your client or if your client is responding to that question as well, right? So both the uh, I mean at both the places the feature is available. So that's a voice note. The third feature or improvement rather that we have done with the comments is the assignee. So previously it was only possible to like address it to the one person, but now when you click on the assignee, you can select more than one person. So you could say that, hey, I wanted to ask something to Manish and then Ludwig, and that's how you can now assign more than one person to internal comments. Okay, so that was that. Another thing that we did with um, cleanup mode, there is GL consistency review. It's a small thing, but it comes very handy. So let's say if you are looking at this GL consistency review, if you wanted to bring up the ledger for any of this vendor real quick, just simply click on the name and it will now pull up the whole ledger. Previously, it wasn't that handy. You had to click here or type in here, like let's say bank fee, then you have to wait and then click on it, and that's how it would do it. So we just kind of added this feature where clicking on a name will immediately pull up the ledger for that vendor. I mean, it was also pulling up when you click on total amount, but then it was only pulling up for that particular period for which you are reviewing it. But here, when you click on it, you have a full flexibility, like you can even play around with the date range, and then it can pull up the transactions accordingly. So that was a small improvement that we did here. The another small improvement that we did here was that when you reclassify transactions, so this example like same CPA. In this case, all the transactions, as we can see, are generally going to accounting fees. Someone coded it to a different account called legal and professional services. And let's say we believe that this was a mistake. And now we wanted to reclassify all the transactions of legal and professional services to accounting fees. So when you click here, now we automatically give you the suggestions. Previously, this accounting phase wasn't coming up automatically. You had to click here and then you have to type in here like accounting phase and then you click on reclassify, right? But now it's going to be very, very handy. It's like a two click, you just click here and then reclassify and then you are done, right? So that's another small improvement that we did here. Okay. So that was that. So these were the major improvements that we rolled out during the fab. uh, I'm also gonna take this time to talk about some of the most immediate improvements or features that we are rolling out. Number one is time tracking. So now you will be able to track time for your to-dos as well as your closed to-dos. So the two things that you will be able to do, one is you can set the time estimate for each task, and you will also be able to start the timer for all of these tasks. So you kind of can now see, hey, what was expected, what was spent, and then you can take necessary actions based on that. So that's like I would say it's been requested by many of our customers, and finally we are about to release them somewhere in March. So that's like most immediate ones that we're coming up with. Client properties again. In fact, these three are the first three are been requested by our clients. The second is client properties. So what's going to happen is that if you go to your client list, we will now be adding this feature where you can add more customized columns here. So to give you an example, you could think like this, like let's say you wanted to group your clients by different service tier. Like let's say you wanted to say that, hey, these are my high critical clients, or these are my low priority clients, or these are my monthly clients, these are my quarterly clients. So however you like, you can actually assign that value to each of these client, and then you should be able to uh, group them. You should be able to kind of create a new view here. You can save it, so that way you can quickly filter your client list by those specific values. So there's going to be a different kinds of custom field that you should be able to add. You can add a date column, you can add a drop down value. In fact, those of you who are using custom field for to do or close, it's more or less going to be the same. So to give you an example, if you go to, let's say, to do settings, when you click on custom field, these are different kinds of fields that you can add with the to do, and same kinds of field that you will be able to use it at the client level as well. There is going to be a one more field here at the client level, that's going to be the users list. So let's say right now we only have a one field that is manager, but let's say if you wanted to add one more column that says users list or preparer or team leader or whatever, you should be able to even assign that as well. So that's going to be that new feature that we are coming up in mid March. So that's a client properties. The third feature is schedule email, and this is for all those who are using client portal. So let's say if I go to, let's say if I go here in client portal, there is a way where you can actually notify your client right now. So for example, If you click on three dots, click on notify client, the only option that you have right now is to notify them, and that is now. You cannot really schedule it, right? So it's like imagine if you're working on weekend and you don't want to bother your client. Let's say you have some questions to be sent to client, but you don't want to bother your client during the weekend, but you want that email to go out, let's say Tuesday or Monday. Then you're going to be seeing this option here called schedule send, and then you can set up your date and time accordingly, and the email will be sent that way on that defined time. So that's another feature that we are coming up in March. Immediate. That's like these are all mostly immediate. Okay, and then there are some more, which is more to give you guys a personalized feeling, where it's a dark mode and then the color theme that we are coming up with. So I can show you real quick on my staging environment just to give you guys some idea as to how that's gonna look like. So let's say you can now decide your own color. So when you click here, settings, themes, you can say that, hey, I want dark mode, right? So then you can kind of have your dark mode as well, right? So these are some of the things that we will be rolling out as also in March. We are constantly been working on improving the user experience, and another improvements that we are making is on close as well as to do as well. It's more of a design. It's going to be much more improved as well. So that's another small improvement that will be rolling out during the March. So all those updates that I was just talking about is like immediate one. So you guys should expect somewhere in mid March. Okay, that's that. I think like that's all I have to tell you guys in this call. If there is anything, let me just quickly look at the chat. Just want to make sure there are no questions as such. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there are any as such questions for us. But guys, just as you know, I kind of keep telling more like most of our features are coming based on our client request. So if at all you guys come across or if you guys have any sort of wish list, just send it our way. We prioritize it and then we kind of roll it out accordingly. So all those features that we rolled out during the Feb and in fact are coming up in March, most of them are based on your request. So feel free if there's anything that you have, please share. So that's pretty much it on from me. We are also gonna be in process of revamping our whole knowledge base as well, where the screenshots, the videos and everything, it's gonna be updated also. So if you wanted to then share with your staff, new joinee, then you can also share with them as well. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much. I hope you like the updates, and we really appreciate your feedback to make Xenett better every day. And like we also kind of feel really great to make it happen. Thank you, guys, and take care. Bye bye.